want to share with you a little bit more about how sneaky suppression and repression can be. I've mentioned before that suppression and repression can be a thing when we are pretending to be okay, or when we keep saying that everything is okay when nothing is okay. So when I was a kid, I remember very vividly of my sister and me and my mother in the same room. And my sister was addressing something. She was asking my mother questions about why did this happen? Why did that happen? And both her and I were not talking. My mother was not talking, telling her that we're not talking about this. And my sister said, "Why are you always pretending that everything is okay when nothing is okay?" Pretending that everything is okay when nothing is okay is actually suppression. Now, suppression is also kind of like denial. You're denying that something happened because it's horrible, or you're denying the severity of the thing that happened to try keep the peace. So I want to also point out the difference between suppression and repression. Suppression is intentional denial. It's intentionally not disturbing the peace. It's intentionally not, pretending that you're fine when nothing is fine. Okay, but repression is not controlled by you. Repression is involuntary. Your subconscious mind pushes the memories away. Your subconscious mind automatically does things to protect you from the full realization of what you're going through. So remember, suppression is intentional. It is conscious. Repression is not intentional. It is unconscious or subconscious. Repression is an automatic response of your nervous system and your subconscious for you to not remember what happened. Basically, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not knowing or understanding something will save you from having to experience the heavy emotions that would naturally happen if you were fully aware of what's going on. We've seen suppression and repression also during COVID, right? We've seen it in people all around us. We have literally observed it, right? And this is also something that happens to people every single day. This is not just through a pandemic or through a war or anything else that's traumatic to the collective environment. So what I did this morning, actually, after I dropped my kids off to school, I went to a cafe and I did a little bit of writing. And I've noticed over the years that every time I do that, so before I go home and do my work at home, or before I go to work outside of my home, if I sit down just 15 minutes, half an hour, and do a bit of meditation and or even some writing, it allows me to get all the stuff that's running in the background, the constant stories and things that constantly resurface in the background about the past and stuff that's unresolved and issues that were never faced, issues that I never received some kind of compensation or acknowledgement or validation for ever by other people. This stuff needs to come out of me, because what I noticed, if I'm not doing this kind of work every single day, then it will start to stack up in the background and it will interfere with my ability to live my life every day. I have a lot of responsibilities in my life. I do my life by myself. There is nobody else there that is thinking and doing things for me or helping me doing things around the house or inside the house or at work. I'm the one doing everything. So I need to be fully conscious and focused on the things that I'm doing every day to be able to stay atop and ahead of things and be able to take care of things. So if I have stuff like that in the background and it starts to accumulate and it doesn't have a way to express itself, I need to sit down every day for 15 minutes to half an hour and write out my thoughts. It's kind of like automatic writing. So I sit down and I first scribble a little bit until suddenly something comes and I start writing, usually a couple pages. And all the stuff I was thinking about, all the feelings I've had, sometimes some of the stories, some of the things, some of the memories that come back, I write it all down. It's just a way for you to process it so that you can still live your life, so that what happened in the past doesn't always affect you in the extent that it could affect you, because it could literally destroy and ruin your life for you. It could get in the way of all the things that you want to succeed in your life. Another thing that does for me is it helps me to fight suppression and repression. So allowing myself to talk about things and to write about things actually helps me to fight suppression and repression. It is very easy for the mind to go back into suppression, denial, and repression if you find you're too busy and you see the background noise as a bother to you. It's like all of a sudden you get overwhelmed by it, and the only way to protect yourself is by suppressing it and repressing it one more time. This is why journaling your thoughts is so important. Also, journaling about the things that are going on and writing down your thoughts will help you to become clear about what's going on and help you gain perspective and perceptions that you need to know, that you need to gain. Because let's say something from the past resurfaces and not just attacks you, but confronts you and challenges you. So in the past, what would happen before I did any sort of work, my brain would go into fight-flight mode and I would avoid the conversation. I would try to run away. I wouldn't know how to answer. I would lose my train of thought. I would get all like jittery and I wouldn't be able to know what to say, right? So now I'm in a place where I am so clear about things at this point, and I've done this work now 9 years. Okay, there was times in between when I wasn't so good at it. We all have that. But more or less over those 9 years, I've done a lot of writing. I've been part of book projects, of collaborations. I've done some videos and stuff like that. I'm just not putting too much energy into it. I have a busy life, to be honest. But yeah, that all helped me over the years to become very super clear about these things and help me understand my reality and help me understand human behavior. It helped me understand how trauma affected me, my brain, and my capabilities. And it helped me to get really clear on things and learn to trust in myself and believe in myself again. And this is very, very important work that you need to do, especially when you've had a lot of trauma. I think everybody should be doing that because it will help you so much. But especially if you had a lot of trauma in your life, it's really going to help you move through it and still be able to be successful in your life and accomplish things and get your shit together, And that is so important. Many people who've had trauma, let that trauma get the better of them. They oftentimes resort to addictions or addictive behavior. They become drinkers or drug users, or addicted to porn, addicted to shopping. They spend all their money. I've been there, trust me, I've been there as well. Sometimes they don't take right action. Sometimes they don't, they kind of like dismiss important things that they should be taking care of. This is all part of avoidance, suppression, repression, and denial. So if you have that kind of tendency, it's really important for you to take the actions to resolve the issues and take care of yourself. So the journaling and the meditation every morning is very important. Even if it means you gotta get up a half an hour sooner, make sure you get to bed a little bit sooner instead of like last minute, or a lot of people go to bed at 12 o'clock. Go to bed at 9:30, and then in the morning you're going to wake up before your alarm even goes off. You're going to have time to get up, have a shower, get yourself ready, get the kids' lunches ready and everything. You maybe even have time to take the vacuum out and clean something you wanted to clean a long time ago, and then you can still sit down and do some meditation and a little bit of journaling. You'd be surprised how much time you have on your hands if you start going to bed sooner. This is actually something I've learned in my self-sabotage course about how that we're sabotaging ourselves in our own lives, and that stops us from becoming all that we could become in this life. Hope that helps, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.